ProWrestlingSheet.com.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of Collider Body Slam Raw Recap. Raw! It was Raw this week. That's for damn sure. We're going to talk about it all. I am your host, John Rocha, joined as always by the CEO of Pro Wrestling Sheet over there. Ryan Satin, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. You just relieved yourself after 2 coffees. You're relaxed, ready to go. Let's jump into this.
Behind the scenes here. Behind the scenes from Rocha.
You're a human being. We all pee. Let's get it on, man.
Hey, wait. Is it a mouthful for you to say Collider Body Slam Raw Recap?
Not really, but I talk a lot. So, but if you want to cut it down, I'm happy to cut it down.
This is the Raw Recap.
This is the Raw Recap.
It's the Raw
Welcome.
Recap. Because I kind of don't use them. It seemed shorter for SEO purposes. Just to say Raw Recap. Just Raw. It's the Raw Recap.
It's
the Wrestling Sheet Raw Recap.
There you go. Wrestling Sheet Raw Recap. What do you say?
And it's not the best Raw to have made that change on, though. I don't think.
No.
I didn't like last night's Raw.
At least you're making some kind of change in the Raw. Go ahead, yes.
Yeah, because we're at your mark, and I'm pissed because before we recorded this ahead of time, unfortunately, but I badly wanted to go back and re-listen to the Raw Sucks promo from the McMahon family.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of point by point go over some of the things they said they're going to be doing over the coming months or whatever it's been.
Sounds like a separate video.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Let's do it.
Because I'm interested in that.
Me too.
I kind of want to look at that. I want to see if they have followed through on any of those things.
Yeah.
I would need to actually see it again though and see what the things they said were. But I know that not a lot has changed. However, I will say there were things they tried this week, I thought.
Yeah, there were some interesting decisions made overall.
Yeah, that's a good way of wording it.
Yeah.
There were decisions made.
Yeah.
We can say that much. Whether they were good or bad, I don't know. I don't know. But there were decisions made, at least. There were some changes, at least it seemed like they were trying to make, it seemed.
Yeah, one of the changes they seem to be making is that Becky apparently works on both brands now. She walked out for a second successive week on Raw, started Raw, for God's sakes, came out to the ring, started talking her stuff about how she's going to go and do this or that, and then Stephanie came out, of course.
Stephanie started it.
Well, I'm sorry, Stephanie started. Sorry, Stephanie started, and then
out.
Becky came out as the first wrestler to come out on Raw last night, and then, started talking about everything, and then Stephanie said, well, listen, you haven't gone to the doctor. You haven't got your knee checked. You can't fight if you get your knee checked. I'll have to suspend you, Becky, because playing that angle of earlier with a broken nose that actually happened. She said she doesn't want any doctors coming near her knee because that would possibly affect her being in another big pay-per-view, that being WrestleMania. And so Stephanie said, well, if you don't see a doctor, I'm going to suspend you. Becky said, screw that. I'm not seeing a doctor. All right, you're suspended. Then Becky beat up Stephanie, and they got held back and all this kind of jazz. I texted Ryan Satin. I said immediately when I saw this, the fans are going apeshit on Twitter about how this seems to be the way the WWE is going to shoehorn Charlotte into this triple threat WrestleMania, which you've been saying is going to happen.
I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I don't care. Although, as much as I don't know if I...
Yeah.
I see.
You're of two minds, aren't you?
Yeah, because I see both sides of the argument.
There's potentially great matches in both situations.
It's not so much that. I think, for me, the argument that I see is this, is that the argument is that, like, they have invested a lot of money into Ronda Rousey. They have, she's killing it in merch. Just like Becky is, and I can see, as I've mentioned in the past, like, they look at wrestlers as independent revenue streams, Each one's an independent revenue stream. And right now, Ronda and Becky are both doing well, I could see them being like, well, we can't turn Ronda Rousey. I don't care what the fans want. We can't turn Ronda Rousey. And then you get left with, well, okay, then who is the foil for the next few months? Who is the bad guy? How do we play off of this while there being someone to boo? If they're not going to boo Becky and we don't want them to boo Ronda, what do we do? And I feel like that's why Charlotte is going to be added into the mix, because Charlotte has had a ton of main events. Charlotte, can be the foil for both of them. That's how I see it. But at the same time, I understand the fans' side of things of being like, hey, man, take a risk. Let Ronda just be a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, Becky was a bitch and people loved it.
Yeah.
Let them do it. Like, who cares? What if what if we try something a little different? Like, what if we don't have to have one be the bad guy or one be the heel? Like, what if, you guys like these shades of gray? We're okay with the shades of gray for once. Let them both just be a bitch. Let them both have at it. Like, that's what the fans were liking as it was.
Yeah.
Take a chance. Take a chance and just let Ronda and Becky do the thing and see what happens, because that's what we want to see as fans. That's what we as fans want to see.
Yeah.
But I get from a business standpoint, it's hard to just do that, because they have invested a lot in Ronda, and Becky's making a lot of money.
Yeah, but the fans are doing it for them. That's the thing that's so great. And people complain about the WWE, complain about wrestling, blah, 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 whatever. To me, it's the most fan interactive entertainment situation this side of a theater play that you're ever going to experience. It is literally historically gladiatorial contests. Yes, those were not necessarily staged supposedly, but they were fixed in certain ways, and the fans decided who lived and who died depending on the emperor going up or down with the things. Sometimes the fans could sway the emperor's decision. That's what I mean.
Yes.
That's what I mean. And you see that now echoing even in 2019 with WWE. That's what happens. The fans are booing Ronda. Booing Ronda. And they made her stumble last week. She turned on the fans a little bit after her match with Liv Morgan and called out Sarah Logan and said something about, you're going to boo me. Then she confronted Becky in the back, and she was full, as you just said, full bitch mode in the back, and said, it's everything I can not to be professional around you because I just want to demolish your face. And then she said, ice and Advil, bitch, and then walked off.
Which was cool.
Yeah, but that's didn't we see Cena and Rock go at each other like this?
Yeah.
Why can't Becky and Ronda go at each other like this? I think it's possible that you don't need Charlotte in the mix. The fans will boo who they want to boo.
You don't need
and cheer
Stephanie
who they want to
either.
cheer. Yes, but that's never stopped Stephanie before. Stephanie, anytime a woman starts to become too popular, Stephanie involves herself. It is super frustrating to watch. The fans feel. I know the fans online said the same thing. It is super frustrating. We don't need her in any way, shape, or form. She is not Vince. This is not Vince Stone Cold. I was so upset.
Here's my question.
So upset.
What do you prefer? Yeah, what do you prefer more?
Yeah.
Or what would you be happier with?
Sure.
Shoehorning Charlotte into the match so that there's some sort of foil for them.
Yeah.
Or shoehorning Stephanie into like special guest referee.
That would be the worst.
That way, it's still 2-on-2, but there's a heel involved in some way, so they can play off of that way, and Vince kind of gets what he wants.
I think you already have a face heel.
I'm just if you had
people hate Ronda. You already have your heel.
I understand.
Yeah.
Which is worse?
The Stephanie thing is worse.
It seems like one of them is going to happen now.
The Stephanie thing is worse because the Stephanie thing now allows it not to be a clean victory. Whereas the Charlotte, clean victory, I know it's stated, a clean victory in appearance.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where I think you lose by having Stephanie get involved. And if she screws over Ronda, especially what she said in that promo back and forth with Becky, where she said, no one more than me wants to see Ronda get her come up and blah, blah, blah. I think that to have her factor into the match is once again the McMahons or Triple H getting involved in a situation that they have no business being involved in, but they want to be involved in because they run the company and they can. And I think it's frustrating to watch that. The Charlotte, Becky, Ronda is fine with me eventually if that's what they end up as. It'll still be a great match as long as Becky wins.
Even though people would hate it so much, because you want to have like a big moment at the end of WrestleMania or something like that.
Right.
As much as it sucks, man, Stephanie helping Becky Lynch to beat Ronda Rousey and making Becky Lynch the corporate champion, a la like The Rock back in the day, and actually going full in on her being like a heel, I'd be into that.
I'd hate that. I'd hate it because once again, it would be about the McMahons and not about Becky.
I know.
And that would drive me nuts. And when he became the corporate champion, The Rock became a corporate champion.
But look what they did for like Seth Rollins.
Vince,
look what it did for The Rock,
Yeah, but that was for Vince and for Triple H. Stephanie doesn't have that kind of cachet, I don't think.
Think of the place melting down of Becky Lynch turning heel and actually saying, no, I don't care about you guys, the fans. I don't know. I feel like the place would riot. They'd be so mad.
Here's what
she
I
would
think.
have such heat.
Here's what I think might happen, and it's a good point you bring up because as you're talking, I was thinking it could be Stephanie helping Ronda beat Becky for Becky beating her up, and then Stephanie forms the 4 Horsewomen as their manager or person, like Paige was for Absolution.
I like that idea too.
That seems more logical. That you would think she's going to be on Becky's side. Becky already doing.
And she can be like, you know what, Stephanie, I should have listened to you from the start.
Yeah,
you were right. I shouldn't have cared what they think. I should have cared what you think.
Right.
You brought us in. They can show the old video of Stephanie doing like the backstage thing at SummerSlam with the 4 Horsewomen. I like that too.
That's certainly possible.
See, so Stephanie does open more options for WrestleMania.
Only if you want to get her involved.
Charlotte. They're going to get one of them involved.
You think so, huh?
It's Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to put one of them in there. I mean, look, I think Becky Lynch is great. Right?
You think who?
Becky Lynch is great.
Yeah, Becky, yeah.
But you can't say that, like, there were some things last night in that promo that weren't super cool.
They were. Well, you mean by her?
Well, all around. One, I'll say,
agree.
The punches from Becky Lynch. Like, I love Becky Lynch, and look, I'd have a hard time punching my boss too. I used to on TMZ have to talk shit to my boss, and it was like the hardest thing ever because you guys don't know. The people watching on TV have no idea. Forget that there's another 12 hours in the day that you have to deal with that person that you just made fun of to millions of people on television, and you don't want to actually piss them off. Like, you want to go, oh, funny for TV. So, like, I understand not wanting to actually lay in punches to your boss, but it did look a little rough. Like, she really wasn't making a lot of contact with her. And also, I saw a lot of people say that she was, like, selling the wrong leg for a minute, I believe.
Yeah, people showed the different leg.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, like, that noticeable or whatever, but I do think, regardless, I think that segment was kind of a little weak. I think they could, if they're going to include Stephanie, they can do cooler things with her. I also think the faking of this knee injury is kind of silly.
I agree.
We already saw that. Like, you can't recreate the past.
Yeah.
And you're kind of trying to recreate that momentum as opposed to, like, just riding the wave of momentum you're already on.
Right.
Like, you don't need to recreate the thing. It's why that certain people, like, the wave passes them, like a la Braun Strowman, where like you took too long on it. Like, just capitalize on what's going on. Like, you don't. We already saw that. We already went through that with Becky Lynch, through everything. So yeah, I feel weird that it's like this whole leg injury thing they're playing up so much. Like, also, it was just very lame. The whole, like, go to the doctor. No, go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor. I'm not gonna. You know, like, it was kind of like, okay, we get it. Like, this is an after school special. Like, we get it.
Ridiculous.
This is the build to WrestleMania.
Also, they let her do these face promos, which drove me nuts.
Becky?
Yes. I don't want to stop doing face promos with Becky.
I agree.
Stop
like, the
pointing
reason
the
she
crowd
got
going,
over is
they're
because
all for me. They're all for me. No. The whole point was her being a rebel and independent and doing it her own way, and the fans coming with her because they like that she doesn't give a shit.
That she's fighting the system.
Exactly.
And I get it that it's like, I get it that, like,
they're just falling into old traps again, and it's frustrating as hell.
It's kind of like the Young Bucks. Like, they're not, like, they're tongue in cheek about, you know, fighting up against the system or whatever, but they're not specifically naming WWE. And, well, I guess it's a bad example because they are kind of like doing the whole we thing.
Yeah.
Like, they act like it's a we thing, which is smart. Smart. Which is kind of smart for Becky Lynch too, but I agree with you. As much as everyone's behind her, she was at her best when it was like a doesn't give a fuck attitude. So, yeah, I agree with you. I did, however, I mean, when she punched Stephanie initially, it was cool. You know, or when she first went at her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you said, I liked the backstage promo as well. Like, the backstage interaction between her and Ronda was cool. They made Ronda look tough. I like that.
I guess.
You didn't think so?
Ronda is tough.
True.
Right. So she radiates that. The thing is, when she overdoes it, that's where I have problems. Because she doesn't have to.
True.
Ronda radiates toughness.
True. Agreed. Yeah.
Ronda can get away with saying 5 words.
Yeah.
Just show up. I'll be ready.
You know what? I got to agree with you there.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Sometimes they give her too many words.
Yeah, they give her too much. And the guys don't, or the people in the back of the crib, they don't get it. With Ronda, less is more. It's not like Brock, where Brock fumbles the words and kind of can blah, blah. Ronda knows what she's doing. Let Ronda be Ronda. Don't overwrite for her. 4 or 5 words. She could have just walked up to Becky and went, "Ice and Advil, bitch," and then walked off.
You're right.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Yo, you're right. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you in that aspect.
It's frustrating. Man.
Yeah.
I think Ronda has all the potential. People misunderstand my bashing of the situation the last few weeks. Ronda has all the tools to be successful in this business. people in creative need to understand how to not overwrite for her and how to figure her character out.
I'm sure it's hard. I mean, like, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. Less is definitely more with Ronda.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she took out Liv Morgan and immediately called out Sarah Logan, and also like her fight. It was just it was a quash match. Basically,
felt like overkill to me. Like that was one of those things where I was like, you know what? I don't think you gained extra by also beating Sarah Logan.
Yeah.
Like, I like the Riot Squad. I think they've done a really good job of building the Riot Squad up, and I know for a long time I said, squash everybody, Ronda Rousey. But I've kind of moved on from that point.
Yeah.
Like, she might be taking a break soon. Like, I don't know. I didn't really, and I get that it seems like maybe she's going to be sidetracked with Ruby Riott for a little bit while they play up the Becky Lynch side of things on SmackDown. Becky Lynch isn't on Raw every week, and they give something for Ronda to do. Before the actual like WrestleMania build for real kicks into high gear. So I didn't think it added a lot having to also like they could have saved Sarah Logan for next week, and then gotten Ruby Riott. Like I didn't love her just beating everyone. Like, I got the point. I got that it was supposed to make Ronda look like angry, tough, like what King of the Mountain or whatever, but I didn't think they needed to like do the Riot Squad like that.
Yeah, and also because it sets up Ruby as some kind of coward because Ruby didn't jump in and said, "Oh, I take care of my friends," blah blah blah. Maybe they're setting up a Ronda Ruby Riott at elimination.
That's my guess.
As a warm up to get into WrestleMania.
That's my guess.
That's possible there, or her against like a handicap match. That could be something Ronda against all three members of the Riot Squad.
I like that.
That would be interesting.
No, they can't happen because the Ruby or not Liv and Sarah
that's right.
are in the chamber.
So then it'll be Ruby and Ronda
guess.
possibly. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, that's obviously what they're setting up, but it's so. But you look at all this, Ryan. What's the deal with what are they going to do with Charlotte? Are they going to shove her in? Are they going to make it work?
From what I've heard,
there's. That's just what's going to happen.
No, from what I've heard, it changes.
It's amorphous right now.
The whole Dave Meltzer plans change thing. It's that's why I don't like to report on storylines that are happening because they truly do change all the time. Becky and the end of the Rumble kept changing up until the moment, until a few days before or whatever. So WrestleMania is still months away. Who knows what can happen in the next few months, So, what, February, March, April. So, we still got a little bit. So, I don't know. I really think that it's it's depending on a lot of things. It depends on, what side of the bed Vince McMahon woke up on.
Right. And how the fans respond or don't respond to things,
more so how Vince woke up that morning.
Fair enough. Well, we had this number one contender match. This Revival versus Lucha House Party versus B-Team versus Heavy Machinery. I actually found myself enjoying this match.
It was a good match.
Yeah, and I love Otis and Tucker. Is it Tucker? Yeah, Otis and Tucker, how their chemistry is working. It reminds me of when a Division III player goes in the NFL and all of a sudden becomes a star. And you're like, why didn't they stand out enough to get a Division I or Division AA? Why only Division III? Jerry Rice was a Division III player, one of the best receivers ever. Heavy Machinery didn't really wow at NXT, but seeing them just completely find their footing so quickly on the roster has been great. Especially Otis. My God.
I knew it though. Otis, I knew when I seen all the videos he posted on social media and the way he acted. I knew. I think we said it when we were talking about it on one of the shows. I think it was with you, where I had said I thought Otis was going to be one to look out for. I knew Otis was going to. Vince was going to love Otis. Otis is such a fun character, and Tucker Knight and he and Tucker are both so sound. Crisp. They're good in the ring. They're not bad in the ring by any means. But NXT is much more for the indie crowd who is looking for to be wowed.
Yeah.
I don't think the main roster crowd is looking necessarily to be wowed. They're looking to be entertained.
Yeah.
And so I think Otis is perfect for that. I mean, and he's shown that. I mean, that's why he's been used more than anybody since, these call-ups have happened.
Yeah.
But I like that they're also giving them, serious time in the ring too. Getting to mix up and being in the mix with with all the other established teams and stuff. And you know what? If the Revival had to request their releases in order for us to get some serious tag team wrestling again, then thank you to the Revival.
Yeah.
Because I really have noticed since that it has seemed like they have made a little bit of an effort to try to put some tag team wrestling that people care about together. They're trying to give a storyline to Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. They're trying to give promo time and ring time to the Revival to get themselves over. they're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying.
Yeah.
You know, so I got to give them credit for that, and I appreciate that the Revival seemingly kind of got the ball rolling on this by requesting their releases.
Yeah, and it seems like in some strange way, Creative and Vince or whoever's in charge listened. And you're right. And so you see them winning. When they won this, I didn't feel what I thought I would feel, which is like, them again. It felt more like, okay, this is a different way to get them there, and maybe the vibe of it will be different when they finally get in the ring for this title and seeing the back. And there's no doubt they're going to win it because nobody cares that Rude and Gable have it.
They're not even on the show still, really.
Nobody gives a shit.
It's crazy. I'm almost wondering, we put up on the site.
It reminds me when they gave it to AOP, or not AOP, Brothers of Destruction. Nobody cared.
I'm wondering... Because there's to local audience, we put it on the site last night. They aired a commercial in Canada for the Superstar Shakeup with when it's going to happen. They confirm International Superstar Shakeup is happening the week after WrestleMania in Montreal. They were calling it the International Superstar Shakeup. But I'm wondering if Bobby Roode and Chad Gable get split up in the brand split. I feel like that team has run its course.
Yep.
Would love to see Gable get like an actual singles push on SmackDown or something like that. That would be the best. I mean, they really need to turn Bobby Roode heel.
Yeah, once and for all.
However that can happen, that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
This was a good match. I enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
I also like on social media. They put out, one of their post-Raw interviews or whatever, and it was with the Revival, and they played off the fact the Revival asked for their release.
Yeah.
It said, like, the Revival are leaving, the Revival say they're leaving Monday Night Raw, and then it's like ... and then like space, like down a line or whatever as the next tag team champions or something like that. And I was like, well done, WWE. Because in the promo, he says the same thing. Like, he's like, oh yeah, we've seen all the rumors. And yeah, I'm here to confirm they're true. The Revival are leaving WWE as the next tag team champions. And I was like, oh, that was well done, guys. I liked that. But yeah, I mean, I want to see the Revival win the tag team titles. Yeah, I want to see that happen.
We'll see how the fans react to it too, and it could be a blessing in disguise for those guys.
Absolutely.
Maybe. So we'll see. Kurt Angle came out, gave his speech about being an old man, and he can't do it anymore. He can't be Father Time, as Shaq used to say, 39 ain't 29, bro. And he's saying he can't do it. And then of course he's interrupted by Baron Corbin. Comes out. I mean, the fans just hate this guy. And you know what struck me? This is strange. I may walk this back down the road. But when he came out this time, I was like, I don't mind this so much now all of a sudden. Like, all of a sudden, I've gotten browbeat into believing that Corbin...
Sorry,
man, that's great. Well, I mean,
that was for effect, guys. Don't worry.
Great. Well done. I was sitting there and I'm just like, okay, maybe. It occurred to me, like, is this, like, we see sometimes, is this the beginning where people now start to actually enjoy Corbin being a heel? I don't know. And then the W could be like, oh, yeah, we were right the whole time. And so that worries me. But I didn't mind the way he came out. I didn't mind the way he interrupted Kurt and what he had to say and then bringing out Drew. Although Drew, this is weird, man. I feel like they've blown both Drew and Strowman, like, their chances here.
I don't think they've blown Drew McIntyre's chances. I actually do think they're using
attaching him
Drew
to the Corbin thing is like...
Yeah, I don't think attaching him to Corbin is a good idea at all. And I don't hate Corbin as much as everyone else. I don't. I really don't. No, I don't. I think that, I don't think that, to be honest, I don't know if I think he should be in the main event.
No.
But he was this week. But I do think when utilized well, he's good at his job.
As a talking heel, he's good.
Yeah. And people hate him. I mean, look, people hate him. He gets reactions. That's all. That's what matters most.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I posted one thing asking for people's reaction gifts to Baron Corbin doing something once. People still respond to it. It's been like weeks later. It had like 700 replies to it. So people love to hate on Baron Corbin. So that's a good thing at the end of the day. This whole segment. One, I don't like when they do the fake retirement thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I don't know why.
No one will ever beat Mark Henry. That was the greatest fake retirement in the history of man.
That was such a good fake out of one.
Greatest swerve ever.
That it's just like none are going to compare to that anymore. So maybe that is why. Also, because I didn't believe that he was that he retired just like willy nilly like that.
It was
you
building
know?
to that moment anyway. The storyline, so it didn't.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going in the direction I said of like an old man Logan kind of storyline where because that seems like that's where they're going with it. Like he's hitting rock bottom, and then all of a sudden he's gonna be like, "No, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get chair out, bro, fucking neck," and he like freaks out and does his whole thing, and then he's like, "Give me wrestling machine again," and he puts like the thing in his mouth, and he's gonna kill someone. Yeah. So I think that's where they're going with it. So I don't hate it. I'm just worried that they don't go that direction with it, and then it's really pointless.
I've never seen him come into the ring since he came back and look good. Just haven't. He's done what he needs to do, the F5 or the angle slam rather, and does all that stuff that he does, the Greco-Roman suplex. But he looks slow and plodding, and that's old man stuff. We're going to talk about it later with Jeff Jarrett. The old man stuff, I don't like seeing it. I didn't like seeing it with Flair.
That's fair.
I didn't like seeing it with Hogan because it so suspends disbelief that you're just like, come on. And so
I don't believe that he could beat up those two guys. Well, I believe he could beat up Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was a Golden Gloves boxer, I believe. Or he boxed, I think.
I think he could have in his prime. I don't think he could have. I don't think he can now.
You think right now?
Corbin would kill him.
You think
legitimately.
So?
And McIntyre as well.
I think Drew... I feel like you underestimate wrestling skill. Like, the fact that he's an Olympic gold medalist.
Maybe.
Like, you can't...
He's 55-year-old Olympic gold medalist, though.
Yeah, but you can't knock the fact that he's an Olympic gold medalist. Like, that...
No, I'm not knocking it.
But I'm just saying,
he did it with a broken freaking neck.
But I more mean, like, skill-wise.
Yeah.
Like...
Wrestling is incredible.
That's what I mean. Like
legitimate wrestling.
He's what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's more scrappy than
he's a
an old man is good. Like an old man is gonna wrestle a little more plodding like that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Like if Clint Eastwood was in a movie and he's way older and like he was beating people, I wouldn't like fully be able to not suspend my disbelief for that, depending on who it is.
That was my problem with Gran Torino. I was like, come on.
Did he actually fight people in that? I didn't watch it. I never watched that movie. That's the one.
Him against an entire gang of.
That's the off my lawn thing, right?
Okay.
I never saw it. Is it worth seeing that movie?
It's a good movie for him because it's Clint Eastwood.
But is it a good movie?
But yeah, you'll have to. I think it depends on how you deal with these actors because they've never acted before. The two main actors, I think the Filipino actors, they've never acted before.
Okay.
And so when you watch them, you got to either be in or out.
Okay.
And a lot of people were out, a lot of people were in.
Yeah, I never saw that one, but it was one of those ones where I'm like, I'll watch that one day.
Yeah.
But old Clint Eastwood doesn't do it for me as much. But still, I believe. Now I want to see it since I've said it because now I've said it and people are like, "Well, this isn't fucking believable, idiot." I like because I feel like he's not overpowering any of the wrestlers, and so he is kind of making it believable.
Okay.
But like, man, if those guys were actually, if Drew McIntyre was actually fighting, then Drew McIntyre would probably beat him up.
And if the fans I don't want the fans to get. Listen, I get it, of course, all of them are scripted. It's fake. I get it, but it has to look somewhat believable.
Of course.
And I don't think it looks believable with Angle plodding around the ring and doing the things that he's doing. It's just frustrating. The guy, like you called me out on this the other day, right? You saw a male wrestler, Baron Corbin, sit back on the ropes, put his arm around, and wait for Angle like 5 seconds to get there with the clothesline. And that frustrates me, And that's on Corbin, too. Corbin shouldn't be going to the ropes ahead of Angle. As soon as Angle starts to move, then he should move back at the ropes and do whatever. Your job as a younger wrestler is to take care of the older wrestlers, to make them look good, to put them over. You know why? Because one day you're going to be in that position, if you're lucky, to put a young guy over. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And so you got to make it look good. And I think McIntyre did a nice job. I didn't think Corbin did a good job.
I do think that they're going towards McIntyre versus Angle still. I've said it this whole time, and now
but then how does that help McIntyre if he loses? And he will.
I mean, you're contradicting yourself though, because 2 seconds ago you just said the job of the younger wrestler is to put over the older wrestler. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
It's to put over the other wrestler and make them look good because one day you might be in that position. Right. Drew McIntyre has interacted with Kurt Angle a lot in Impact.
Yeah.
They wrestled each other. To me, losing to Kurt Angle at WrestleMania is not a bad thing for your career.
Okay.
If done right.
Okay. Let me put it in context just to clarify. I meant like in a match like this, in a Raw match like this. But I mean in a main event.
It applies still outside of the match too.
Oh, okay.
You can't be mad if they're like, hey, what do you got for WrestleMania? And they're like, you got Kurt Angle's first singles match at WrestleMania back, where it's gonna be finally Kurt Angle is tough Olympic wrestler again, and you're gonna help him get over. You're helping Hall of Famer Kurt Angle
have one last
big victory, and you get a singles match at WrestleMania in a marquee match. I don't think that's bad.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know.
What does it do for his push, though? I mean, it doesn't really help his push in any way, shape, or form.
He's a bad guy. Like, bad guys lose, you know? Right. It's not that they have to win every match.
No, I'm not saying that, but I mean, like...
And he's already kicked the shit out of Kurt Angle a bunch of times, embarrassed him, which has already elevated him. And in my opinion, a singles marquee match at WrestleMania, win or lose, elevate your status.
Okay. Do you think Strowman will get healthy enough to be able to be part of this situation?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I was trying to figure that out last night.
I mean, they had to throw a chair, for God's sakes.
Of Angle being like in this mix of all those guys where it's like unclear what they're going to do with them at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
A piece of me was hoping that Jason Jordan was going to be okay, and maybe like it ends up being like you think it's going to be Strowman, but he tags with Jason Jordan, and they finally have their big moment or something like that. But I don't know. Okay. I don't know if Jason. I haven't heard of him being cleared yet or anything like that. Okay. So I'm also wondering. I'll be honest with you. I've been wondering the same thing. It seems like they might involve Strowman in this mix, but they already did the tag match last night. So I feel like you can't. That can't be where they're going for the next few months, right?
Yeah. I wonder where that's.
Unless it's Angle versus Strowman.
I think it's going to be Angle and Strowman versus Corbin and McIntyre.
You got to throw Nicholas into that match. Then.
I guess then.
No, you got to throw Angle. You got to Angle, Nicholas,
the little
and
kid.
Yeah, the little kid. God. Get Nicholas back at WrestleMania.
Nicholas' dad ref that match, and then his dad calls the match.
Oh man, imagine Kurt Angle and Strowman doing like some kind of cool triple team move with Nicholas, like where they do the power bomb or the triple power bomb. They hold him up for Nicholas. Come on,
that'd be good. But then who's it? McIntyre and Angle have to find Nicholas's school bully, and put him on their team. That would be good.
That's good. I like that. I like it.
Spike. All right, let's move on. Sasha Banks and Bayley, they took on Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross in this chamber qualifier. Why is Nikki Cross in this situation jobbing out? Already decided to be a
jobbing out's a bit much. I mean,
all right, fine. Losing
there we go.
In this situation. Why is she being paired with Alicia? This is terrible.
Yeah, and I get that.
I get the entertainment factor,
and I get that they're both crazy. We get it.
You kill her badassery though, man. By putting her with Alicia.
That's kind of how I felt. Like I like Alicia Fox a lot.
I love Alicia Fox.
I get the comparison of like they're both the crazy ones.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt like pairing Nikki Cross with Alicia Fox almost shows they don't understand Nikki Cross's character.
Yes.
Like, that was what bothered me the most out of it, because it's not so much that she's crazy, which is part of it.
Sure.
But, like, I don't know, it's not the same as Alicia Fox. And even if it is, then switch them on. Don't have them on the same brand if you feel that they're too similar, you know? Yeah. But I felt like Alicia Fox is more like a diva that doesn't understand she's a diva.
Right.
Right? Isn't that like she's a little out there?
Yeah, she's out there.
Nikki Cross is like punk rock anarchy, almost like a Mick Foley-esque. Like it's not the same, I don't think. And yeah, it just felt like that they didn't understand. They don't understand her. Vince McMahon doesn't understand this character as much. That he's like, oh, get it? She's crazy, like Alicia Fox. Put them together.
Yeah, it's so simple in the thinking. It's frustrating because she doesn't need to be part of this. She doesn't look. She's already above Alicia. I'm sorry, she is.
And if you want to put her
coming into the thing, she's already above Alicia.
Well, I don't know what. I mean,
that's my opinion. I think
Alicia Fox is a talented person.
Absolutely. We've sung the praises of Alicia Fox on this show. My thing is that Alicia's never going to get that kind of status.
But she's a veteran in WWE.
She is.
So I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah. You could, for lack of a better term, you can retard the momentum of Nikki Cross by putting her with Alicia, who perennially loses, and so you put her in that with that stick. And Alicia even turned on her at the end of the match, said it's her fault. Then I don't understand, because it gets nothing for Nikki to break up with Alicia and beat Alicia up. It gains nothing. Nikki needs to be going up against Ruby Riott or up against Sasha's one-on-one or up against Bayley one-on-one. That's the match. It's
also
not,
like if you want to put Nikki in a tag team, put her back in Sanity.
Yeah.
Like, if you want her to be part of some kind of group to help everyone get each other over or something, put her back with Sanity. Use Sanity on TV. They still haven't determined what show she's going to be on.
Right.
Put her on Smackdown. Just let her be with Sanity. Let her be with her husband, Killian Dane, and be part of a group together. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's
That's how I
crazy.
look at it.
It's crazy.
But I didn't enjoy. I will say though, like the match wasn't bad.
The match wasn't bad,
and the way they set it up was good. The way they kind of got Bayley over was
Yep.
good.
Yep. On the heels of what happened at Royal Rumble, this was a great next step in turning Bayley back into what she was at NXT.
Agreed.
They finally, 2 years later, figured this shit out. It's so frustrating. And Bayley was great last night. I don't know if Sasha's legitimately hurt or if they just played the angle for Sasha to play this way so it focuses on Bayley.
From what I heard, she wasn't like fully cleared, but it's not like a major injury where she like have to go away or anything like that.
Well,
I think she's just trying to recuperate, so that's probably why she was so not used in the match.
That's good because it helped Bayley out a lot. And you know what? Sasha's already had the shine on her for quite some time. It's nice to get Bayley back up to that level so that when they win the titles, and they will, it's got some kind of like gravitas to it, so to speak.
I don't think they're going to be the first ones to win it.
What?
I don't.
If it's the Iconics, I'm going to shoot this fucking place up and set it on fire. Do you understand me? Not this place. The WWE. I'm going to fly into Sanford.
Like Rocha wanted to make sure he could. Not this place.
I like this place.
No, they're going to win at WrestleMania, my guess.
Yeah?
I mean, because everyone wants
So they
them,
won't win at
I mean, if
the
I was
Elimination
booking
Chamber?
if I were booking this,
Who would you give it to?
I'm just saying, if I were booking this, why would you do that? I get it, they deserve it or whatever.
It's the first ever.
But all of you guys, everybody wants them to win it, and they're the ones who've been pushing for it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you get the mega heat on someone like the Iconics over them in a cheating way, and everyone is furious, and then you've got a good WrestleMania match and a good moment when the when Sasha and Bayley actually win the tag team titles, and then Trish and Lita come out, and they're like, yeah, and everyone's like a whole big the Sasha and Bayley did it. They brought us the women's evolution. Doesn't that sound better?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because it means nothing to beat the Iconics. Not a goddamn thing.
Okay, who are the other teams
and don't tell me
in
you're
it?
going to have a great match with the Iconics.
I'm trying to see who are the other teams in it.
It'll be, I think, if we go with your storyline, Nia and Tamina are going to win the damn thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes more sense to me. And having Bayley and Sasha overcome Nia and Tamina, the two
I'm into that too.
bruisers, makes a lot of sense. And
Is it
can't be
okay? Are you into the
coincidence.
storyline better than if my same scenario as long as it's not the Iconics?
Yeah. As long as it's not the Iconics. I can see that. And,
Okay.
and the way they've been pushing Nia lately, which we'll get to in just a second, they're setting her up for something.
And also, if I recall, like a while back, Nia tweeted saying something like she didn't even care if they won the women's tag team titles.
go.
So even better, because the storyline's built in right there of like, no, we care about the tag team titles.
Right.
You don't even care. You take time off.
Right.
You do it. You're Rock's cousin. Whatever. You fuck around. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You know, like that's the vibe I get. They're gonna go. That they're gonna go. So yes, and actually that makes more sense than the Iconics because we did say initially when they first paired them together that it was clear they were trying to get them over to have like a viable women's tag team as like a heel force.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It makes sense if they win it and they do it in some cheater way.
I think they should have had Nikki pair up with Nia. I know Tamina's there and they're related by blood and stuff like that, but like it would have been nice to see because Nia and Nikki is a scary combo.
That is also a scary combo,
right? Because
but they've been working hard on this Tamina Nia thing for a while.
Yeah, and I get that. I get it. But maybe down the road, this is a tag team that could be very interesting. Those two.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah. All right. Elias came out here and interrupted Double J E double F whatever he's called. Damn it, Jeff Jarrett. They had Jay come. They had the Road Dogg come in first, which was awesome. Wearing totally marking out for the Portland crowd, wearing his Dame Dillard shirt. I absolutely loved the fact that Road Dogg still got it.
Me
man.
too, dude.
Still got it. And even with the look, and this is the great thing. Some guys, the entertainers, they get it, man. The second he talked about his belly with that smile on his face and the beard on his face, the fans loved him even more. As if he wasn't over already for doing the promo like he used to do. He was even more over by admitting that he's a little older, and I loved it, man.
Me too. And I had said last week, I think it was last week about when he was wearing the man shirt that didn't have the same kind of that it wasn't as cool. The area specific stuff. Much better.
I love that.
Much better. The jersey was good. And yeah, I'm the same way. I love Billy Gunn. I love the New Age Outlaws.
The New Age Outlaws were great.
So seeing Road Dogg on television again, I'm a fan of. Especially if it's, like, to get Jeff Jarrett kind of like over a little bit. Smart. I think it's very smart.
Yeah.
Because people love Road Dogg. He's one of those people they're never going to boo. But they're never going to boo Road Dogg. Although it was weird the way it was played out last night. I don't think it'd be very hard to get people to boo Road Dogg.
They booed Jarrett.
That's why
didn't boo Road Dogg.
Yeah,
they won't boo Road Dogg.
It was like this weird, like, wait, do we boo now? No, wait. Like, it was weird. I agree. But I love Road Dogg. It was funny, too. I mentioned how I like the New Age Outlaws. I think it's funny that in this, we're in 2019, and Road Dogg's on TV again, and Billy Gunn is one of the people on Being the Elite now. Yeah. And so Monday night we had Billy Gunn and Road Dogg both Monday had them both in prominent wrestling shows, and I was like, man, I love this. This is awesome. I love seeing both of them being used in good ways on in both companies. So I think Road Dogg's awesome. I think he's I love the Road Dogg stuff. It is the Jeff Jarrett stuff is confusing though. Like I will say, like I surprisingly didn't think he seemed too out of place. To be honest with you, like you mentioned the similar to Angle thing, and you didn't like it, and I get that point. If anything, I don't like it because they said we're gonna bring you new stars, and those new stars were Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, and Road Dogg.
Good point, Ryan.
I like those wrestlers, but I just go in terms of like you said you were doing this thing, and now you've had Jeff Jarrett wrestle as many times more than EC3.
Yeah,
Now EC3 did wrestle on this match. So I guess it's a bad example on this show, so I guess it's a bad example, but you get what I mean. You know, like they've definitely used Jeff Jarrett now to this point more than they've used Lacey Evans or EC3 or anything like that. So but I also didn't feel like he seemed too out of place when I was watching the match. Like, Jeff Jarrett's a legend. He's a wrestling legend. You can see whether you hate him or not.
Yeah.
And he's been in the business a long time, so it's not like he's bad.
He got no pop though, man. It was nothing.
No, that's true. It's because they're using that stupid song.
Yeah, that song.
They need to use the cool one.
I guess.
The
I don't think it's gonna matter. It's Jeff Jarrett.
And he needs to have the "Don't Piss Me Off" on his guitar.
Oh, right.
Like he has to be Jeff Jarrett.
He's gonna come out in the NWO shirt.
Yeah, black and silver.
Black and silver.
Like, has Jeff Jarrett ever been? Besides Impact, has he ever been a face in WWE?
I think he's been a face and then he's been a heel
in WWE.
Yeah. If I recall, before the China situation, that whole China situation stuff, I think he'd been on a little bit of a face run, then turned heel again. And so I believe he's been face on WWE.
I don't know. I have a hard time believing him as a face.
Right.
So
but that song is not a face song.
No.
A heel song.
Or the spelling his name. Or the strut.
The strut's definitely
bad guy thing.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. And then Elias, it's like, wait, why are we booing Elias now? He just doesn't like these old guys that are on the show.
I don't know. It's weird. You say they booed him, but then they also said they had chanted with him with the walk with Elias.
They were
so
kind
it's
of
confusing.
back and forth.
Just like Creative is with Elias. They're confused. The fans are confused because Creative's confused about what to do with Elias. What is this? What does this purpose serve? Yes, I get it. Like we were referencing earlier, a young guy put an old guy over, one last like a little bit of a hurrah for them. Great. But is this leading to a WrestleMania match?
I feel like it has to be leading to something at WrestleMania.
If it is the Honky Tonk Man still around?
Oh my God! You think that's what they're gonna do?
I want 3 guitar fights. I want 3 guitars in that ring. Honky Tonk, Jeff Jarrett, and
or tag match.
Elias.
Road Dogg and Jeff Jarrett versus Elias and Honky Tonk Man.
Done.
Elias and Honky win, and then they have their final concert afterwards.
If I can't get the Legends Royal Rumble, I'll get that. I'll take that. I will absolutely take that.
I just want it to end in peace, and they all just have a giant jam along,
like the Bears, like the Country Bears from Disney, just like that. All right.
I was thinking like the Traveling Wilburys, of WWE,
I'm down with that. All right, let's move on. We got to run through these last few because we got to run out of time. Lio Rush took on Finn. This was weird. I don't know. I mean, it was nice to showcase what Rush can do in the ring. That was fun. But do you want your manager eclipsing the star he's managing? Because Lio did kind of do that in this match, in my opinion.
I kind of like the difference in styles between the two of them. You got I actually think it would be very smart of them to show that Leo's a good wrestler on the main roster as opposed to just 205 Live because, I could see money in a tag team of Lashley and Leo.
Sure.
I think they'd money as a tag team together. I'm always I like the tag teams that has like a small guy and a big guy.
Yeah, right.
Those are my favorite tag teams. That's why I liked Kane and X-Pac back in the day. They were just different styles than each other, you know? I feel like they'd be a good tag team, so I think it's a smart thing to kind of let Leo get a few matches in, especially getting to kind of like go toe to toe with someone like Finn Balor, who was just wrestling Brock Lesnar, and holding his own, not just getting squashed as like a like a Weasley manager, like a Heenan or a Bob, or any of those people back in the day. They're always kind of like, once they got in the ring, they got the shit kicked out of them. But I liked that it was like, no. This is a manager who wrestles. Yeah. He's dope, And so I thought, I liked it. But I also see your point too that I can see it might confuse people a little bit.
Yeah, you started because Leo did a great job, and you're like, well, shit, I want to see that match. Two high flyers going at it who know how to use the ropes and know how to do it in the ring. Whereas Lashley's pretty limited to just power moves and technical wrestling moves. Obviously, he's got a lot of wrestling experience himself in his background. So we'll see. It's certainly a filler for this rivalry going on right now. So
I definitely. I like when they're able to kind of like prolong something without having the two guys feuding wrestle each other. So it helped in that regard for sure.
All right, let's get this moment of bliss. What the hell was this? First of all, it's great to see Alexa. I always love seeing Alexa, the lovely Alexa. But then EC3 comes out, sits down, doesn't say a word. What was the one thing everybody loved about EC3 and NXT is that fool had mic skills up the yin-yang. Then you have Nia come out, interrupt, and start talking her mess and saying how the fans want to know what she's up to. By the way, she's embracing this heel role better and better every week.
Yeah, she is.
I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm enjoying it. Stay this way forever.
You
this
also
is
left
where
out
you live.
You also left out his dick joke about EC3, about his bank account, or she made that long pause and then made it sound like it was a bank account thing.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't like Alexa going this route. I really don't. Let Alexa be Alexa. I don't need her to be all sultry and seductive and make those jokes. I don't need it. But I get why they're doing it. Tamina didn't say a word, but then
shocking.
Yeah, but then Ambrose comes out, and Ambrose completely goes in weird directions, talking about how Nia has a thing for him and attraction, blah, blah, blah. And Renee Young's reaction was hilarious. And then
I was like when Renee said, when he walked out, she was like, put on a shirt. You could hear under her breath say it. Put on a shirt.
I would love to have a camera on that relationship 24 hours a day for 7 days a week. But then he goes at EC3. Dude, he demolished EC3, and EC3 didn't get a chance to say anything on the mic. He just punched him. But saying where EC1 and EC2 are, I was on the floor.
That was genius.
Dude, I had to pause it. I was laughing so hard.
I was laughing so hard.
That's brilliant.
I was mad I never thought of that joke.
Yeah.
I was so mad I had never thought of that joke. I was like, man, that's a good joke. That was funny. Okay, while, yes, he did destroy EC3 on the mic, and I was surprised they didn't have EC3 say anything back.
Yeah.
I mean, they did, at the end of the day, they gave EC3 the last laugh. In fact, I almost like that they're letting him be silent right now.
Yeah.
Because he's so good at talking that when he finally is someone going to let me talk? Yeah. And goes into it, I feel like it's going to be a money promo that's going to make him if they were to go that route, will be a star kind of performance of it's someone's finally going to let me talk now? Right. Here's what I got to say, type thing. So, and I did I'll be honest with you, I thought he played that so well where he was just letting Dean get it off and he was not, and he was and then he just looked like he was going to say something and he just punched Dean in the face.
And
I thought they played that well.
Walked to the ring.
Yeah, I thought they played that really well. Yep. I thought it was funny too when EC3 came out and he was pointing at his name like he does in NXT, but then he looked back at Alexa for approval or whatever to see hey, you see that? You like that type thing? Yeah. So I thought that was good. Yeah, the segment itself was odd.
Yeah, it was odd.
But I did think that Dean, for once, seemed awesome. You're man, see, Dean just being Dean is awesome. Not making him talk about how smelly the fans are and stuff and how this city's the stench of this city, but letting Dean just go out there and cut a promo on a dude it's where he's money, and so I thought it was good that they had him do that. And at the end of the day, the fact that they had EC3 go over on Dean in his debut match on Raw is a big deal.
Yeah. Did you like the match?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't good. It
didn't tear down the house, but it was a good match.
Yeah. It wasn't a passable match. No, There was nothing bad about it or anything like that, and I liked the surprise of EC3 winning. You know? I'm bummed, though, because I was hoping that one of them were going to do Dean's old finisher.
Oh,
because they used to have this, because EC3 used to do that move, and then he got fired, and then, if I recall correctly, and then Dean started using that move in WWE, but then when EC3 went to TNA, he started using the move again, but it's like, oh, they both have the same move now. So I think he switched it up and stopped doing it. Now he definitely doesn't do it in WWE. I don't think I see him do it in WWE anymore.
Is Dean going to make it to WrestleMania on his contract?
Yeah, it's up at the end of April or something like that, or after WrestleMania or something.
I wouldn't mind seeing this match at WrestleMania.
Me neither, but it's also like, are they really going to... I wonder if like they can sustain that for the next few months, you know, like an undercard one like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
I would love it. I think it'd be great. I would also be a big fan of that. But the segment was a little messy. The segment was a little messy.
Yeah.
It was a little like,
it was weird.
A lot going on. Like, I don't need Alexa to still be doing these talk show segments now that she's back.
Yeah, I'm in your boat. I wasn't initially, because anything more with Alexa is always great, but I think this was the one where I was like, she's just serving to help other people do stuff.
Yeah.
She's not actually pushing any of her
It didn't get her over at all.
No, it doesn't.
No.
And
Like Miz TV usually serves as a vehicle to get Miz over in some way still.
Right. Plus,
most
being
of the time.
on the ramp doesn't make it good anyway.
What was that?
Being on the ramp. Putting it in the ring is where it should happen.
Fair.
All those ones, except for Piper, were all done in the ring pretty much. All those shows. I mean, you had the barber shop from the old school days, but they built a whole set for that. It wasn't just 2 seats and some, green screen and a coffee table.
Wasn't the Brother Love show kind of like on the stage too?
Yeah, but that was all set up a stage. It was all a stage.
Had like her own,
because he had the pulpit and the whole nine.
I'd be cool if they had
the flower shop with what's his face.
I'd be cool if they gave her her own set to do it.
That would be. I'm cool with that.
That'd be a little kind of like an old school throwback.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Yeah, that'd be
I
fun.
agree. The stage isn't the coolest set.
No, it doesn't work.
No.
Put it in the ring or build a set for it.
Yeah, I'm into that idea.
Who was the flower shop? What was his name? Adrian? Who was the guy? The big Adrian?
You're the 80s wrestling
God damn
fan.
it, I forgot. Anyway, let's move on to this ending. This Kurt Angle, Strowman, McIntyre, Corbin. And what do you want to say? I hated this. This was weird.
You hated the whole match?
Not the whole match. I think the ending of it was weird and running off, and then him destroying people on the steps. We've seen it. We know he's a killer. He's a man he's a machine among men. We know that. What did we get?
Monster
among
men.
men. Sorry.
I agree with you. I didn't dislike the match. I really didn't like the ending though.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
he's just going to get disqualified.
Like we see that in tag matches
all the time.
All the time. When did that instantly become a disqualification? Yeah. Like it probably happened in that same match earlier.
Right.
Like,
if Corbin was a GM and made that rule, that'd be different, but we've seen other people. It was just a weird way to get disqualified.
It was a very weird way to get disqualified. It was like if you want a non-finish, like why even do this match?
Right.
So I didn't. That was my main thing with it. The end of Raw felt like a dud.
Yeah.
That's why it really. That was why I didn't enjoy this show so very much, because it started with a dud, and it ended with a dud.
Yeah,
like it started with the whole go to the doctor, no, go to the doctor, no, go to the doctor, no. Okay, you're suspended. No. Okay, screw you. It was just kind of weird.
Yeah,
and then it ended with just like a very basic thing that happens in every tag match, somehow forcing a disqualification to happen.
Yeah,
and then it was just kind of like over. Or there was the a little brawl or whatever. But I didn't love the ending of Raw.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
Agreed. I don't know where it goes, and I guess we're pushing the Angle thing, and you have all these other great wrestlers, and like we said, we're at that mark where I thought I would give them this much time. Fans were like, you got to give them time. We gave them time, and we're ending the match with Kurt Angle in the main event of Raw. We're ending Raw rather with Kurt Angle in the main event match of the night. And
because it's been a month and a half now, right?
And that makes no sense. Yeah, month and a half.
No changes.
They're messing up the Nikki Cross stuff. I think they're doing well with the heavy machinery. I think we'll have to see more from EC3, but it doesn't feel good right now. And I like the Nia stuff. I don't know what's going on with Dean, but there's a lot here. So I don't know. We'll see. I wasn't a big fan of it. There was a lot here, but I wasn't a big fan. But there were some things I liked, but not a lot.
Yeah, there was definitely more dislike than like this episode. And I hate saying that because I like to be as positive as possible. But
we both do.
I can't. I calls him like a season, Rocha.
Yeah. We got to be honest, bro. That's what this is all about. And on the newly titled Raw recap, the Wrestling Sheet Raw recap. There you go.
There you go.
Thanks everybody for watching this week. We'll be back tomorrow to do a Wrestling Sheet Smackdown Live recap, newly retitled. Really, thanks everybody for all the comments, all the back and forth. It's always fun to go with you guys, talk back and forth with you guys about wrestling. I try to comment on Ryan's stuff all the time whenever I see, because he posts a lot, and it's great when he posts. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great conversation or starter or question. But it's great to hear from you guys as well. Ryan, where can people find and subscribe and read all the stuff?
And before I piggyback off of that, I just want to say also the Wrestling Sheet YouTube channel has been growing numbers too, and I can't thank you all enough for subscribing. I think we're like so close 10,000 now. Last time I checked, so I really really appreciate you guys subscribing, liking all the videos, sharing them, letting people letting them know about this show and that you like it. It really, really helps a lot. So I also want to thank you guys for that, because all the numbers are going up. I see it. I see the shares. I see the likes. I see all the comments. I try to share them when possible. I try to comment back when I can. So thanks very much for that. You can check out, if you want to check out the YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. That's where you can find the weekly recaps we do. It's where you can find Wrestling Sheet Radio every week, where we talk about all the top stories of the week. It's where you can find other fun videos that I do. We put up a video of myself and Lance Archer where we went to a pizza place and did a quick interview there. I'm going to be at the All Elite Wrestling ticket announcement party thing in Vegas this week, so I'll be posting YouTube content from there as well. So just make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel, and make sure you guys check out the website, ProWrestlingSheet.com. That's where we post everything all week. I got someone in here helping me right now for the time being, so we've been upping content. So please make sure you guys go check out the website and follow us on social media as well. It's at Wrestling Sheet.
He's an NXT UK guy. No, I'm just joking.
No, he loves NXT UK.
Yeah,
he's from the UK.
He's from the UK.
Yeah, he's from London. So
I'm gonna get some tips from him. I'm going to London in a few days for like 10 days, so I'm gonna maybe sit down and talk with him.
Oh, dude, he'll
get
where
some
he's from.
information.
So you should ask him about
Perfect.
it. Oh, and also make sure you guys check out the podcast feed as well. It's on it's Wrestling Sheet Radio on Podcast One, iTunes, Spotify, all major platforms.
There you go. And you can always find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of the Wrestling Sheet Smackdown Live recap. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
ProWrestlingSheet.com